Good morning.
The emergency room of the Medical Center of Trinity was the backdrop for law enforcement, Pasco Public Safety, medical personnel, students, and the Florida Department of Health. And they all had one simple message: don't text and drive.
Thank you, and welcome. I appreciate everyone coming out today. We also appreciate our partners that are here today that are really involved in changing the behaviors that ultimately impact the health of our community. Our focus today is an unhealthy behavior called texting and driving. Our health is impacted by our behaviors, such as unhealthy eating and lack of physical activity. Ultimately, that results in obesity. Negative health results also are connected to texting and driving and can have a more immediate impact on your health. Poor choices, like decisions to text and drive, can have a devastating effect on each of us.
Hello, I'm Dr. Agdamag. I'm the medical director of the emergency room here at Medical Center of Trinity. And I wanted to thank you all for inviting me here and letting us be a part of this. Although, when my 7-year-old daughter found out that I was going to event involving texting and red fingernail polish, I didn't have a choice. Every year in our emergency department, we see over 50,000 patients in this emergency room right here. Many of those, I should say, are not due to motor vehicle accidents. Many are. And many of those motor vehicle accidents involve very serious injuries. Approximately 5% are critically ill. Now, while many of those go home, they don't go home without injury, either emotional or bodily, whether it's contusions, sprains, strains, head injury. We also see forearm burns or skin burns from airbags. The lasting effects are real. We ask everyone to remember this when you drive. Please be very safe. We like to see you here, but as a visitor, not as a patient.
In an effort to raise awareness of risks associated with texting and driving, the Red Thumb campaign asked that residents paint their texting thumbnails red.
I have painted my thumbnail red to help create an awareness for unsafe driving practices. Steve Babcock from Washington started the campaign and was reminded that his daughter used to tie a string around her thumb to remind her to take things to school. He thought he might try painting his fingernail. While it sounds silly, it does work, and the hope is that others will follow suit and not text and drive. We're asking students, parents, and communities to join us in painting red their texting thumb.
I see it every morning and every afternoon when I go and come from work. Maybe I'm hypersensitive to it, but I see it, I noticed it. I saw 2 or 3 just this morning on the way to work. It is an epidemic. It's a human condition. This helps us remember. I hope we all join in. We're starting our campaign within the county at Station 15 here. Shift B at Fire Station 15 in Trinity is going to be our first volunteers to start off the campaign within the county, and we're going to be moving from facility to facility throughout the month.
From the Sheriff's Office standpoint, we're certainly very excited to be part of this program. I work in youth services, and we do a lot of work with young people, certainly trying to do prevention and education and doing what we can to empower students to be successful and certainly be safe in every circumstance that's possible. So we're very excited to be part of this program, but it's something that goes far beyond our schools, far beyond our students, but we want to certainly set the pace with them. Texting and driving is an extremely dangerous behavior.
The most recent statistic from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 421,000 people were injured in motor vehicle crashes involving a distracted driver.
The opportunity is there, and it doesn't mean that you're the one texting and driving. If you're a passenger or someone else in the vehicle and you see somebody reach for their phone that's driving, it gives you the opportunity to try to intervene and help them make some good choices. So we certainly hope that everyone else will take part in this, be cognizant of the dangers of texting and driving and distracted driving in general, and remember there's really not an app or an emoticon that you can go to that's going to undo the damage that's done in that brief second, in that unguarded moment.
Hi, we are from the J.W. Mitchell SAD Club, and I would like to relay a message. When you're in the car, there's nothing more than safety first. So you need to wait before you check your phone until you get where you're going.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Kohler. I'm from Mitchell's SAD Club. My message to the fellow teenagers is please don't text and drive. It's not worth it.
How you doing? My name is Troy Sagersey from the Mitchell SAD Club. My message is don't text and drive.
At any given moment across America, approximately 660,000 drivers are using cell phones or manipulating electronic devices while driving, a number that has held steady since 2010. 3 out of 4 teens and young people say they have texted while driving, a number that just has to be reduced.
I think that this epidemic really affects our children. We forget who all it affects, but we think about accidents, car accidents, but we are really concerned about pedestrians, about children walking to school, about people that we don't necessarily see when we're driving. Taking our eyes off of the road for just a second is the difference between an accident and no accident. It's the difference between life and death in some cases.
Finally, I ask that we all do our part for this campaign. Paint it red and have a red thumb discussion at the dinner table, at home, at a business meeting, or at your school. It can and will improve the health and safety of our community. Thank you.
The split second it takes you to look down at your phone or pay attention to something else and look back up on the roadway, you own whatever is between you and those 3 to 6 car lengths. So that becomes a part of history that cannot be changed. So if that's someone that walks out in front of you, if that's a vehicle that stops short, you're not paying attention, but by the time you look up, the accident's already occurred. Lives have already changed, and possibly maybe taken a life that you never anticipated.